When's the last time we even filmed a video together?
So long ago.
Hey guys, it's Luna. This week we have a very special guest, which is my sister. This is my sister Zoe. She's otherwise known as ZOLITA, pop sensation. Basically, on my last girl talk where I talked about relationships, sex, boys, all this stuff, I came from a, straight perspective, and I asked you guys if you would want to see it from a different perspective coming from someone who maybe is in the LGBTQ community, and that would be my sister. So yes. I thought, what better than to bring her on here, and I'm gonna ask her all the questions that you guys want to know regarding relationships, dating, hooking up, anything.
I'm so excited to do this. I feel like we've wanted to do a video like this for so long.
We really did. I think there's a lot of things that I'm curious too about.
Let me be the lesbian big sis that you ever had. Basically, in high school, I was dating boys, but I was only dating them really so I could tell my friends that I was doing stuff. I would make out with boys so I could be like, yeah, I made out with this person to my friends just so I could feel like normal. I remember the first time I made out with a boy, I was like, oh, this is what all the fuss is about. I just it didn't spark anything for me. But I still didn't think I was gay because I didn't think there weren't any representations in the media of femme lesbians really, and the only one that I remember knowing was Ellen, and I was like, I don't look like her and I don't like girls who look like her, so I'm not gay. And also at that point, lesbian was definitely a slur, so I definitely it didn't cross my mind until I saw Glee, just seeing Naira Vera, rest in peace, her portrayal of Santana, and then her love story with Brittany. They're two feminine cheerleaders. That when I saw that relationship, I was like, oh my god, that's okay, that's what I want. Made me realize what was possible as a gay woman. And I was really lucky that I went to NYU. I realized I was gay junior year of high school. I didn't like anybody at school, so I was like, I don't need to make it big. I don't need to come out. If you feel like you want to do that, live your truth. It's coming out is such a different process for everybody. There's no right or wrong way to do it. It's whatever feels good to you. But I felt okay, I'm going to New York for college. I'm going to NYU. Everyone's gay there. Probably being straight is a minority at NYU. I'm gonna be fine. And I just instantly found kind of queer friends that really made me feel comfortable to come out and to be who I was. Came out freshman year of NYU. So that's my coming out journey. I've been in 2 serious relationships and then dated up a storm. I am a little bit of a serial dater.
Asked you guys to ask me questions to ask Zoe, and I got them, so let's look through them. I'm so excited. Wait. A lot of people were saying about questioning sexuality, how they know if they're gay, how they know if they're straight, bi, all of the above.
Okay, I think don't put pressure on knowing and feeling you need to have a label. I think sexuality is so fluid and can change throughout your life. And if you notice, you're okay, I'm attracted to that girl. That's interesting. You don't have to be okay, I'm gay now. This means a whole big thing for me. Or it could. You never know. A lot of people have asked me, they're I feel I can't say I'm bi because I've never made out with a girl yet. You don't need pressure to put a label on something, but also you can know in yourself I know that this is my sexuality without having acted on it yet. Okay, so I was actually talking to Zoe the other day about this. I mean, it was a wrong place to come from, but I was why do people even have to come out as bi anymore? Because I feel at least because where we grew up in LA and stuff, it's just so accepted, why do you have to come out and label yourself? And you had a really good answer to that. Basically, well, yeah, first of all, you said it we're living in LA where things are much more accepted, but there isn't a lot of bi representation in the media. I feel generally bi women are doubted because they're oh, you're just gonna end up with a guy anyways, you're straight. And then bi men are doubted and they're oh, you're gay. If you like a boy, there's no way you're bi, you're gay. So there's not a lot of bi representation in the media. So it is so important for people to still come out as bi. And I think until it's totally normalized, we do need labels to some level, and they do help people a lot, and they help people make sense of themselves and their feelings, and in middle America and stuff, it's still different. When did you come out to your family and how did they react? So I remember my mom, this is really sweet, so my first year first month at NYU, I fell for this girl. We kind of fell into a thing, and I really fell for her. She broke my heart. And then I remember I was on the phone with my mom, and I was yeah, I'm just not feeling good. I'm just in a funk. And she literally just says, who is she? So I never had to come out to my mom. I was basically just started talking about this girl. And then my dad, I think he just kind of figured because my photography was pretty gay in high school, so I never had to come out to him either. Yeah. And then I remember it was I think you were in 7th or 8th grade, and you came home. You're Zoe, why is everyone at school, all these people at school are coming up to me and saying your sister's a lesbian? And then I said to you, I was well, would that be such a bad thing? I was why is that a bad thing? And then you literally were I saw the math to go off in your brain, and you were oh, yeah, you're right. I don't know why.
No, that's exactly how. I mean, I don't really remember much. It was just so natural. I don't think you sat me down and were like, well, I'm this, and I was like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
But we just had like super accepting parents where like
So lucky.
and lived in LA, so it's just like a very good environment. I'm genuinely interested in how hooking up is like being lesbian.
Okay, I feel like with straight sex, generally, you know, it all is like culminates in like penetration, right? But in lesbian sex, there's no like one way to do it. There's so many more like nuances, I think, and it's kind of fun because you never know. I feel like it's different every time, honestly. Just imagine all the other stuff that straight people do. It's like you do that stuff too.
So scissoring a thing.
It is a thing, but it's not like that. I don't think it's as big of a thing as a lot of people think it is. It's not like very effective.
Oh my god.
Getting very
I'm gonna die. How do you ask a girl if she likes other girls? Like, how do I know if someone is?
My thing that I used to do, you could just straight up ask her, but obviously that's like nerve-wracking. My thing I used to do was like, I would drop, if it was a friend or someone that I was getting to know, I would just drop little like lesbian hints, kind of being like, oh, like the L word, and see if she like react to that, or talk about like Glee,
like
or
the
talk
movie?
about, yeah, or talk to like, about like Blue's Warmest Color. I'm like, oh, have you seen that movie? Do you like it? Like, oh,
So
and here's
funny.
the easiest way. If I'm like lurking a girl's Instagram and I'm like, I wonder if she's like into girls before I slide into the DMs, I will look and see who she's following, and if she's following like King Princess or HIII Kyoko, I know. Then I'm like, okay,
dead.
like,
Okay.
you follow King Princess? No.
No. Yeah, no. What prejudice / homophobia have you faced, and how have you dealt with it?
I think because I'm so femme presenting and I date women that are very femme presenting, a lot of men, especially out, basically think that's for them and they'll be super gross. I remember my last girlfriend, third date, we kissed in front of my apartment building. I lived right next to a dive bar, and then all these men were like, just like, whoa, like so hot. A lot of staring and a lot of just like comments. I think within the community, when you are like super femme presenting, you can be a little bit doubted. I remember when I had like long nails once, people were like, you're not gay, like you have those nails, like how can you be gay?
Is dating girls easier than dating guys?
Hell no. Hell no. Anytime a straight girl is like, ugh, like dating boys is so hard, I wish I was gay, I'm like, careful what you wish for.
That's true, everyone says that.
Yeah, everyone says that. It is, you guys, so much harder. Also imagine all the emotions, like, because generally women are more upfront with their emotions,
right,
because society has allowed us to be. So just like two people like being so expressive.
Oh god.
It's
That
so
can either be really good or really bad. Throughout your career, have you been discriminated, like being in the music industry, due to your sexuality?
No, if anything, opposite. Honestly, like I think that I started pursuing music professionally when I put out my first video that was about me falling in love with my best friend, and like so many queer girls were relating to it and were like, this is healing for me because I haven't heard this story told before, and that made me want to make music. People will put me in that box a lot in articles and stuff. They're like, oh, gay singer, like lesbian, which some people really mind, and like they're like, I'm a musician that happens to be gay. I don't really care, honestly. Like, say whatever you want as long as people are like the music and are relating to it and it's helping people find it. Like,
right.
I really don't care.
Okay, because of the enormous lack of sex education for girl to girl stuff, I'm really nervous. Do you have any advice?
Yeah, it does suck that there's like such a lack of education. Any sex that's not straight sex or like abstinence is just not part of sex ed. But you go on YouTube. There's so many good resources. Stevie Bobby is an amazing lesbian YouTuber who like really goes into it, like talks about lesbian sex. Straddle is a good like lesbian website.
Okay, coming out tips, especially to Christian parents. How do I feel safe?
Oh my gosh.
All this.
That is really difficult. If your parents are more conservative or you don't know how they're going to react, honestly, do not come out in an unsafe situation. Take care of yourself and make sure that, obviously, yeah, your safety is the most important. And I think if you have to be in a situation like that where you like can't come out yet because of you're living with people that wouldn't accept you, please like find your family of people online. Like there are so many people like that in the same situation. Hopefully there's maybe a friend in real life that you can confide in. Be careful and only come out, you know, when you feel fully like safe to do so.
Was your first time with a girl weird?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it all comes so naturally, especially because if you're a girl and you're having sex with a girl, like, you know your body. Don't be afraid to take it slow. Communication is the most key because guess what? Everybody's different. Everybody likes different things.
Have you ever been with someone who was like bi-curious?
Yeah.
Like you were their first?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so many times.
Interesting. And what, did they decide no? Or?
Are
you a top or a bottom?
In my relationships that I've had and the girls that I tend to like, it's generally pretty even.
Interesting. Okay, what about body hair? Like,
What
do
about
both girls have to shave, or like, is it weird when one girl doesn't? I feel like it's different for a girl.
Yeah, every girl is so different. Every girl has a different preference. But I think there's more of a level, I know some guys don't care, but I think there's more of a level of understanding with women because you're both going through the same thing, you know? You can have a preference, but generally if you like somebody enough to want to be sleeping with them, you're not going to be like, oh, you have body hair, don't want to sleep with you anymore.
Yeah.
Clearly, like, you're not sleeping with them just because of their body part.
Okay, what even counts as sex when it comes to, you know, being lesbian in the community?
Everyone has their own parameters of what they think sex is. I think that if you're naked in bed with somebody and you guys are both trying to make each other that counts as sex.
Oh my god, I've never said these words in my life. How to respectfully educate someone who is being ignorant towards LGBTQ plus individuals.
First off, take care of yourself. And if the stuff that they're saying is only just gonna hurt you and make you feel worse about yourself, like, some people are just beyond even reaching. I don't know, especially older people who've grown up with so much like homophobia. In the best situations of people coming out to conservative parents, once the parents know that their daughter or son is gay, then they're like, oh, I know a gay person now. It just like demystifies it and like it humanizes it. Like, oh, well, I love this person, so it can't be bad. That's in the best case scenario. It shouldn't be your labor to educate homophobic people who in the end maybe just are not gonna get it. But if there's someone in your life that you know isn't homophobic and is just maybe saying like stuff that is lightly homophobic, call them out on it. You know? Like if someone's using the word gay as slur, like that's so gay, just call them out.
Yeah. If you're straight and you hear your friends saying, I feel like a lot of boys too, like high school boys will use the F word and as a slur all the time. If they don't hear it, they're never gonna know.
Be that person.
You need to be that person. Yay! Okay, I think we are pretty educated now.
Yay!
Thank you, Zoe, for coming on here. I hope that you guys got more insight and your questions were answered. If you ever want her on here again, please just let me know. I had so much fun.
So much fun.
This is so important.
Any of you have any questions that were not answered here, like feel free to DM me on Instagram. I always respond to DMs, so.
1000%. And definitely go check out her music. It's amazing. New stuff coming soon. It's gonna be crazy. But her Instagram is ZOLITA. I'll tag her YouTube down below. Everything will be down below for you.
I love you. This was so fun. Love Girl Talk. I'm so proud of you for doing this. Like, this is the thing that so many people need, and that I would have loved to have when I was growing up. So,
Thank you so much. Okay guys, I love you to the moon and back, and I will see you next week. Bye!